So here we go. Ticket for not wearing a mask properly.
Yes, hi.
Hi guys. Yes, hi. Just doing his job.
Please pass me.
Just doing his job. So obviously when we look around, right? A lot of people believe that this one help them. And believe that this one protect from sickness. Now I want to share with you now why I know this not work. I want to explain something to you now really quick. Right now, a few months ago, people start to reach to the shop. They start to call me and start to message me saying, you know what? I think I have the Rona. I have all the symptoms. You go help me. You think bitters won't help? Well, of course, bitters won't help. But give me some more. Give me some more details. Then said, well, I can't smell good. My sense of taste, no good. I taste funny or I don't taste at all. So the symptoms basically that may lost or altered sense of smell and taste. So what I start to recommend is something very, very simple. Papaya leaf. Why papaya leaf? And that's why I want to explain to you right now. Now, I recommend the papaya leaf either dry or fresh, green, like this. And you could blend it. If you look up, if you search on Google, you do a quick Google search, you will find out that we already know, it's very well documented, what causes the loss of smell and taste, and it's a vitamin B12 deficiency. When you have a vitamin B12 deficiency, you will get weakness, affects the memory, sharpness of breath, it affects your brains obviously, smell, taste, anemia, numbness and tingling sensation, simply because vitamin B12 actually helps the body produce new red blood cells, new white blood cells. You see the taste buds? Yes, it helps produce healthy, new, fresh taste buds. How is it that we go through this vitamin B12 deficiency? So much people gone through it at almost the same time. Interesting, not true? Now, check this out. We have to first understand what is vitamin B12, what make it. So, many people don't know this, but vitamin B12 is made by a bacteria in the intestines. Interesting, huh? So, in your own intestine, you produce vitamin B12. So, we depend on a bacteria for help with that. Another interesting fact is that even though the vitamin B12 get produced, it still needs to get absorbed into the bloodstream. But it can only get absorbed if it combines with something else called intrinsic factor. And guess what's in the lining of the intestine? It's another bacteria called Lactobacillus acidophilus bacterium. Interesting, huh? So if you notice, bacteria in our stomach helps to produce and absorb a lot of essentials which we need. So we are dependent on bacteria. So we have to really consider the health of our gut bacteria, right? Why do I say this? Because if we start to, let's say, starve this damn bacteria, or we start to give it things to make it sick, unhealthy, or we start to give it poisons that start to kill it, they're not going to be able to produce either the B12 or the intrinsic factor, and then we're going to go through all the symptoms of deficiency, which includes the loss of taste and the loss of smell. We do consume a lot of poisons, right? Do we accept that? Well, agrochemical poisons, how about this? So we notice that this gets sprayed on the tomatoes, on the rice, on all the vegetables, on the crops. We could see it with our own eyes if we go to the fields and we see the spray. We still won't buy the foods and put it in our stomach. But we won't allow nobody to put this in our foods as we're eating. But we don't eat it. We eat a lot of poisons. And guess what? These agrochemical poisons have been proven to destroy what? Gut bacteria. Interesting, Nacho. So, I could prove to you that we are poisoning ourselves and that poisoning is causing symptoms. There's proof. There's actual scientific proof. This cannot help you, unfortunately, from poisoning. It just won't. I'm sorry. So, when we look at the body, how it expresses symptoms of sickness, we really have to look at the poisons that we're consuming. For some reason, if we listen to the health authorities, whether international or local, right? They concentrate a lot on the germs, a lot. But they always seem to avoid the poisons. I wonder why. Now, another thing that I want to make a comparison, right? The health experts come in and say, you know what, we need to wear this. If we don't wear this, we want to see people start to get sick, and they want to drop like flies. You remember the Chinese people in the media, how they start to drop like just out of nowhere on the streets? Well, they create a lot of fear, right? And our culture is very used to the influence of international media. Now, because we may get so conditioned and so programmed to get scared of this germ, we hurry accept this. But make we compare it to another culture. Look at the people in shipyard. Look at the Mennonites. They don't have the influence of media as strong as we do. So when they hear about the germ, the Rona, they never are scared. They say, no, it's okay, I don't want to wear this. And shipyard has not been using this. Many of the Mennonite community have not been using it. Now, before we jump the gun and say, oh, they're irresponsible, they're not considering the people, let's look at the facts. Now, a year has passed already, and we can now look at what has happened. The Mennonite community did not take the recommendations. We did. Who had more deaths? Because according to the international influences, we should have seen more deaths, but we didn't. So we have actual proof. We don't have to hear about rumors. We did proof. We did a comparison. We saw that a community did not go along with this recommendation, and we saw how we did go along with the recommendations. And we, who had the experts on our side, who had all these different people telling us how to protect ourselves, they too got sick. They too couldn't avoid the purging effect of the agrochemical poisons. They too keep ignoring the poisons. And this is what it leads me to, is because the advice of this is coming from international health authorities, and it is being perpetuated by local health authorities. Now, under the watch of those health authorities, if you look at our food supply, it's full of poison. Our food produces sickness. Under the responsibility and the watch of health authorities, our food produces the epidemics that we are currently facing right now. And simply because of that, and that alone, I can make one personal decision and say, you know what? They do not seem to be qualified to force a medical procedure on me. They do not even be qualified to advise me on health. And simply because of that, I stand with the Mennonite community, and I personally don't consent. I cannot consent to advice given about health from those in charge who don't seem to know much about health. We are independent, right? We celebrate it every year. So if we can do that, if we can come together and celebrate independence, we can actually practice independent thinking and independent decision making. When we get forced to have to do a medical procedure from someone or something that is not qualified, and we deny it, we obviously get punished for it. And now this becomes an act of violence, and I have to defend myself in court.
In the event that you feel as if though you've been wrongly issued a ticket, then your court date is the 24th of March 2021 at 9 a.m. on Regent Street, Supreme Court. The handboard is, you can appear there and we'll have our day at court.
So I will be defending myself in court because we have the right to do that. And I have the proof that those in charge of telling me how to take care of my health don't qualify. Sorry, that's just the real deal. So keep this in mind, guys. Remember, Your food is either your medicine or it can be, that's right, your poison. Take care, guys. Bless. People are fed by the food industry, which pays no attention to health, and are treated by the health industry, which pays no attention to food. Wendell Berry. Guys, so this is how I wash my vegetables, right? I basically just put water, put a little bit of baking soda, and I stir it in good, right? I'll add a little bit more, why not? And what I do then is very simple. Just put my veggies in there. So what this do is it's supposed to actually break the bonds of any of the poisons where they're on top of it, right? Because the poisons, a lot of it is basically just waterproof, so that when it rain, you know, get washed off. But so this is all I do, right? I soak my veggies in a water and baking soda. I left it there for like 10-15 minutes, and then rinse it off with drinking water, and that's it. I have vegetables. Now I know this now protect me from the chemicals with the inside and that's a tough one. But if you buy vegetables outside, make sure at least you try wash it properly, right? So let this soak, and this should be good.